Hey guys, it's the Fractal Pianist, even though I might start calling myself the Crypto Pianist, checking in, and I just wanted to make another video again because surprisingly, I was not expecting such a reaction like the one I got when I put up the video. I put the video up and I immediately got a bunch of views and a lot of likes and a lot of comments, which is awesome because that's just what I'm trying to propagate. I'm helping the Ethereum community grow by encouraging discussion in the comment sections like you guys did below, by asking you guys to call me out on things, by helping me learn so I can share with you guys and everybody else new things and further understand what it is you'd like to know. When I started this, my intention was that I'm always either on the way to work or I'm eating or something and I'm trying to look for videos on a daily basis and there are not enough ones about Ethereum being covered, so I decided to do it. So that doesn't necessarily mean that everything that I put up is going to be based on whatever the latest news are. However, I would like to focus on whatever the big news topic for the day is, and then furthermore, just add my personal opinion maybe on that and speculate. I read through the comments and I read every single comment that I get, and so I wanted to address some things, such as the fact that I said Vitalik was socially awkward, because he was. If you hear about when he first put out the white paper and went out to speak about it, he had a tough time explaining his project because he was very young. He was 19 years old and he was just kind of lanky and awkward. But you know what? That's awesome, because I think he took care of his brain instead of his body and the way he communicated it, and he was able to create something as amazing as Ethereum. Sorry, checking that it was recording again. And so I'd rather that somebody goes ahead and create something like Ethereum and then worries about his body after when he's rich enough to join fucking rich fitness clubs or whatever. That's not what I mean. And besides fitness and eloquent, he's actually developed a lot more than he has when he first came out. I mean, people are saying that he is nothing like he was, and I agree. I think he's perfectly cool now, and he's actually very, very smart and very elegant, way more than I am. So that's the first thing. I respect Vitalik, and I think we're all grateful for him to exist. I also wanted to mention that I did mention that it was 15-minute block time for Ethereum. It's actually more like 15 seconds. Thank you, whoever said that. 15 seconds, that's even better. So block times on Bitcoin are around 15 minutes. However, on Ethereum, they're 15 seconds. That's insane. That's part of the reason I think adoption is going to be huge. Okay. So anyway, I just want to thank everybody who commented. I encourage you to keep encouraging discussion down below. Call me out on wherever I screw up. And I will no longer record while actually driving, because that seems to have freaked people out, and you're absolutely right. It's pretty irresponsible. So I will park, as somebody said, and speak. I just left to work and I wanted to put a video anyway, just in case. Okay, so one of the main things I wanted to talk about is a hot subject today is that The Economist, a magazine, has put out an article basically lauding Ethereum and saying that there's kind of a switch from Bitcoin to Ethereum is what I gauged. And they went on to say that 80% of transactions happen in China through Bitcoin, and 90% of the newer Bitcoins are mined in China. So that furthermore points to the fact of centralization. A lot of miners and mining companies outside of China have gone bankrupt because they don't have access to free and cheap electricity to mine with these huge ASIC warehouse factories. And so China has most of the decision rights, and they don't seem to be taking a good care of the development. So Ethereum doesn't have that problem necessarily yet in China, because we don't have these single ASIC programmed to specifically do this one thing kind of GPUs. We have to get expensive graphics cards to mine that are expensive even in China. And we all pay the same electricity for that, as far as I know. And so OKCoin and Huobi are the main exchanges in China, and they haven't even added Ethereum yet. As of today, when I looked, the market cap of Bitcoin was $8.3 billion total money inside of Bitcoin. In Ethereum, it's only around 1.2, which is amazing. You see, Ethereum and Bitcoin for a very long time, when I first got into it, were very inversely correlated. you had Bitcoin going up and people would drop their money out of Bitcoin, it seemed, because that's the only way to buy Ethereum, and then sell their Ethereum. So Bitcoin will go up, Ethereum would go down. And the reverse was also true. When Ethereum would go up, Bitcoin would go down. And so this seems to have changed when Gemini, the New York exchange owned by the Winklevoss twins, added an ETH to US dollar pair. Like suddenly there was no more this strong correlation between Bitcoin going up and Ethereum going down. Now they seem to be moving a little more independently, which is awesome, because that's something else. I do think that Bitcoin is going to be around forever. I don't think Bitcoin is going to die necessarily. I do, however, think that it is a great store of value because there are only 21 million, and I think they both are going to live independently. There's plenty of money in Bitcoin. The transactions are going to slow down for a while if they don't raise the megabyte cap, sure, or whatever. And I do think a lot of money is going to jump into Ethereum when they realize how much quicker it is. But at the end of the day, I think the people holding and really caring about Bitcoin are going to keep some of their Bitcoin, because that's just going to keep going up, in my opinion, eventually. But I also think Ethereum will as well. And there's no reason why they both can't. Anyway, so to go back, so we have $1.2 billion-ish in Ethereum. So we're over the $1 billion cap finally, and seem pretty settled, whereas we had hit that a few months back and gone back down to like $600 million. And Bitcoin went from something like $7 billion last month to $8.3 billion as of last I checked. And that's new money. Look at it. Both Ethereum and Bitcoin both have new money piling into it from fiat currency. That's got to tell you something. They're both growing. And so it's amazing that we can have crypto just raising itself up and becoming more aware and getting more currency as other nations and other currencies get devaluated and people decide to put their faith in something else that they might have just heard about. So, OKCoin and Huobi, who process 80% of the transactions on Bitcoin, have not added Ethereum yet. Do you understand what that means? Last month, $7 billion in Bitcoin. As of today, $8.3 billion. That was apparently when the Chinese started putting money. The Chinese, we've been fucking around with the Bitcoin, screwing around with the Bitcoin market for a while, trying to move it here and there. And then when suddenly the Chinese decided that their currency apparently is devaluating and they put money in Bitcoin, it jumps up $1.3 billion. The market shoots up. They can affect the price like this. They haven't even looked at Ethereum on OKCoin or Huobi yet. But imagine when they do. And why wouldn't they? When they do, I can easily see Ethereum growing by $1 or $2 billion in market cap fairly quickly, just like Bitcoin did. So maybe some money leaves Bitcoin, maybe it doesn't. But regardless, which do you think has the potential to double the quickest? You have Bitcoin at around $450. To get to $900 would take a lot of positivity. Whereas to go from, I think, to double from $1 billion market cap to $2 billion, or to go from $14 to $20 or $28 is a lot easier for Ethereum. So as both a long-term holder, I pretty much stopped trading and I don't recommend it. As a long-term holder, I see the potential for Ethereum growth huge, to be much quicker. So I think Ethereum's a great place to at least put some money, and it has a way higher potential of going 2, 3, 4, and way more times what you put into it, versus Bitcoin, which I think is safe, and it is the proven network. So anyway, I think they both are going to be very important. And let's face it, if Bitcoin crashes, if Bitcoin just straight up disappears and it actually does fail and goes to zero or whatever in a weird world, which I think is very unlikely, that would be a bad thing for Ethereum, because faith in cryptocurrency in general would just shoot way down. At least that's my opinion. Because we are going to be held to the standard of Bitcoin being the first. But as people always say, we don't have the stigma of the Silk Road or all these underground markets attached to Bitcoin. And we don't have that negativity, that violence, the pedophiles. We don't have that whole scene. We just have this positive Ethereum environment with people like Vitalik and Jaxx.io, who decided today to extend their 7 days of Jaxx into next week. So next week on Monday will be 8 days of Jaxx.io developments of the wallet. It's amazing how we have these light wallets, so you don't have to get the whole network, as I mentioned before. You can get a light wallet and transfer funds quickly. So today they announced they're gonna have an API that basically they can look into the Ethereum network using their own node, and they're working on making that functionality exist very soon, and they're hiring developers. That's incredible, and that's going to be right within the app. And then pretty soon, probably by next week, they're definitely going to announce DAO token integration, so you can look at your proposals and vote yes or no, and you can comment, and you can add your own proposals probably on there. I'm not entirely sure of how that's going to work, and neither do they, but I think wallets like that are a huge thing, developers like that. So, The Economist, who is, to go back to that, a magazine for Swedish, I believe it's a Swedish magazine that Anglo-European, really wealthy people read, just got wind of Ethereum, and they posted something very positive. Whereas they posted about Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies before, they just made it seem like Bitcoin might be dethroned very soon. So I think that's a big development, as miners, like I believe they call KNB or KCY, something like that, and May 27th went bankrupt, and it just gets centralized in China. So what else did I want to share with you? I think that's pretty much it. So I do think that, to top it off, Ethereum and Bitcoin are no longer inversely correlated. I think they're both going to keep going up, and there's going to be bigger eyes on Ethereum once Bitcoin passes its halving, and people aren't just speculating on that. That's one thing. I think that the Economist is a really good thing that they're showing that Huobi and OKCoin haven't even added Ethereum, but they process most of the transactions of Bitcoin. So imagine when they decide to put in Ethereum, which I think is imminent, and so do many people. And actually, one more thing I want to add is I've always been curious as to what is the total wealth of money owned by everyone in the world. Think about it. So people are saying, why do I think that Ethereum could go to a $5 trillion or more market cap? Well, let's think about it. What happens if currencies do go down internationally? There's a huge crash, and people realize that we're not, our fiat money, our money that the government prints wantonly, is not backed by gold anymore, and they are printing money however they want, and whatever you were able to buy today, like a hot dog for $5, is now gonna cost you way more. And then you have to take bags of cash like they did in Germany at some point with the franc, I believe it was called, just to buy something like that. Like in some third world countries, I think that they're gonna be looking for things that are gonna be able to store their value, like Ethereum. So how much wealth is in the entire world? In 2013, a study consensus was done, and the total wealth of money, if everybody emptied their bank accounts, sold all their stocks, and sold all their houses, is 241 trillion US dollars. Just let that sink in. So $241 trillion, which is, if we stacked it in $100 bills, 60% or more of the way to the moon. That's crazy. If only a small portion of that decides that Ethereum, which seems to be moving up, will be a stable form of currency, because Vitalik's goal is to lower inflation to 0%. 0% once Metropolis hits. Even a small amount of that 241 trillion comes into Ethereum or even Bitcoin. I think 5 trillion could be a pretty paltry amount, as a conservative amount as to how far it could go. And honestly, I'm just happy to be part of the community this early on. and to be able to have awareness of its existence, because a lot of people don't. And I think they're the ones that are the slow ones. So those who move quickest, the ones who take risks. They don't have to be big risks, but try buying some Ethereum if you haven't already. It's really easy. Get a wallet and use some Bitcoin if you want to do it. Coinbase or GDAX, whatever you want. It's really easy to do it with. So get some Ethereum, get some DAO tokens afterwards, see how it works, and you'll realize just how cool it is if you haven't already. And then another thing is open discussion. Talk about it, post, share videos, not necessarily mine. Talk, just read more articles, help the environment grow. And I think we're such a small sect that are a little more advanced as far as economically, technology-wise, and awareness of that and how this is working toward crypto, that we're in a new frontier. We're in something brand new that's never been tried before. So it's actually really hard to do an analysis because this has never been done. We're pretty much at the forefront of a new way of life and thinking and society and civilization and decentralization and honesty and truth and privacy and so many things that, you know, we take for granted. But as surveillance becomes a big thing, as taxes that we don't feel are just become a big thing, as fees raise when we try to send money from here to other nations and to family members, and we lose a significant amount of money when we could just be sending it with something like Ether with almost nothing fees. I just can't see why this, with bigger awareness and ease of use, such as what Jaxx is trying to do. For example, they now they're trying to sell, I guess, gift cards of Ether money in, I believe, 7 Canada stores, or 17. So you can walk into the store, into a supermarket, and find this Jaxx Ether card. You enter the thing inside your app, or you scan the QR code, and then you have Ether. So that makes it easier for people to get into it. And plus, you look at it and you're like, oh, what is this? You pick it up in Canada. I think Canada's very forward thinking by allowing this to happen. And I can't see why they won't expand outwards. And as awareness of things like Ethereum grow, through articles like we've seen on Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, the Economist, as awareness and discussion grows, I really don't see a limit as to how far Ethereum can go with the positivity, with the development, and the innovation that's going on in that community. Anyway, as always, leave comments below. Hit like if you enjoyed this. And I really appreciate all the feedback and all the subscribers. And I hope that you guys stay tuned and you can let me know more of what you want to do. I can't necessarily do too much analysis because it is a new thing, as I mentioned, and plus it's my personal opinion as well. So I see it as I take in news and it comes through the filter of whatever happens here, and then I share it with you guys. And then I hope you share your things and we can have open discussions, and I encourage you to keep doing that. And I will not make any more videos while driving. Anyway, I'm tired because I was working all day, and I'm sorry about this huge rant, but I hope I see you all back for the next video. Cheers.